What's up, everyone? You are listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. I am Tejas. This is the Crown Jewel pay per view review, guys. Before we get into this review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And do let me know your thoughts on the Crown Jewel pay per view in the comment section below. Did you enjoy it, or it was a fucking long pay per view? Man, I thought this is going to be over like in 12:30 for us guys in India. Like it just feel like forever. I mean, it just hit me with the fatigue element actually. And yeah, I was kind of not that much enjoying going into the main matches. But anyways, I actually kind of soaked in, and I am pretty kind of, you can say that, kind of can explain that how this pay-per-view is. And yeah, let's get into this then. So we first kick it off the kickoff show. We had SmackDown Tag Team Champion Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Jimmy Usos, the Usos obviously got the victory here, and this is a crowd sweetening match, and it was good. I mean, yeah, it was kind of TV match, you can say. And yeah, it was fun. And the crowd was hot for this match. And the way the Usos got the reaction here was like they were like baby faces. And Cedric and Shelton were like booed like hell. But anyways, this was fun start for the opening, you can say. And we get to the Crown Jewel main show. We kick it off with Edge with Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. I didn't thought that they would do this, but uh, by the end of the show, I thought that this wasn't a very best idea to begin with, I would say. But when we see you gotta begin with some big match. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that maybe Universal Championship would be beginning with, because that's not gonna be long match or something, and that's the biggest match that people are waiting. And we have seen WWE doing the main event matches at the opening as well in the past. And yeah, but and also considering recent history, this is pretty long pay-per-view, man, just to have a fact there. But anyways, we have Edge Seth Rollins match. This was a very good match. I would say not at the level of the MSG match or SummerSlam match. I know that we cannot compare because this is Hell in a Cell match, but they used the stipulation very well, especially the Rollins spot onto the table when he hit the cage and actually dropped down to the table. That was good. And the chair flying chair spot, and the stomp and the neck work by the storytelling was good here. And it was pretty very enjoyable, I would say. And yeah, one of the fantastic match to start the show. And after this, there was no fantastic kind of matches, I would say. Yeah, but this was awesome match. And yeah, Edge versus Seth Rollins. Edge defeated Seth Rollins as my prediction. And yeah, that was really good. Yeah, let's get into the next match then. Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali. This is a good match, even though I thought that they should have built it more over to this match. But anyways, this match was good to watch. Yeah, it was good to watch. The story was Mansoor Ali using all the cheap tricks on Mansoor, and Mansoor having to prove that he can hang up. The story was kind of good here. So, and the wrestling was also fun to watch. So it was a fun match for me. And yeah, good work. It was exact 10 minutes match. And for your knowledge, at Seth Rollins match was 27 minutes, but it didn't felt like that. I would say. And I enjoyed this. I was like, let it go. I mean, I was enjoying the facial expression of them, so that was there. And next we get to Mansoor defeated Mustafa Ali, so nice match. And next we get to Randy Orton, Riddle, RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles. Good tag team TV match, you can say. Nothing to say. Yeah, just a match. Not a long match, but it felt long, kinda. And it was normal, man. I mean, a kind of TV match, you can say. And next we got to Zelina Vega versus Two Drop finals Queen's Crown tournament. And this was as expected. Uh, yeah, kind of okay match. They could have done Queen's Crown and the King of the Ring matches at any of the SmackDown episode or something. They could have felt it could have felt SmackDown episode more important. Like yeah, I mean they could have completely minus these two matches, and this pay-per-view would have been the best. I mean. Already this pay-per-view is the best, I think, the Saudi pay-per-view, if you see, and some of the best Saudi pay-per-view that WWE have put on. But if you take the way this Queen's Crown, King of the Ring, and put it on the SmackDown show, it would have been amazing, I would say. But yeah, Zelina Vega defeated Doudrop. Zelina Vega new. I mean the Queen's Crown. I mean I don't know what's next for Zelina Vega, and doesn't make sense at all. The whole tournament, I mean, it was just there. Yeah, nothing much to talk about actually. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley, no holds barred. Falls count anywhere as well. They actually pulled this stipulation as well in the pre-show. Yeah, Reigns to Brock Lesnar was also called as no disqualification in the pre-show, and then they just took it over, pull it over. Yeah, they didn't do it. I don't know why they actually say it, and they yeah, when you're in the show actually, yeah. But again, this WWE thinks. Anyways, this match, Goldberg Lashley match, was pretty entertaining for me. It was fun to watch Goldberg decimating Lashley, and the story was highly favorable for Goldberg. So Goldberg anyhow should have got the victory here. So Goldberg got the victory here, and the kendo stick shots, and the spear onto the that table under the stage, can say that was a great spot, I would say. And they the production, the way they actually had the camera angle was excellent, I would say. And I liked the ending, and the whole match was very fun to watch. Yeah, it didn't took too long. It was 11 minutes to be exact, you can say. So probably, I mean, Goldberg is gonna disappear and come back at Royal Rumble or WrestleMania time or something. Let's see what's next for Goldberg and what's next for Bobby Lashley now. Maybe they would be going. I mean, Bobby Lashley would be coming for Biggie again, maybe. Let's see how it goes, man. Next we go to Xavier Woods with Finn Balor in the Kings final King of the Ring tournament. So pretty good match, to be exact, as expected. I mean, these two are experienced wrestlers, so they put up a pretty fun match, I would say. The exchanges were okay. I mean, cool to look at. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was nothing to care about actually who got the victory or something. I mean, it doesn't make sense what's next for these two guys. I mean, they are not going for the world title or something. Nothing special to see after this. So that was kind of you can say, yeah, the same tournament, the dilemma, I would say there. But Xavier Woods, as my prediction, defeated Finn Balor in 9 minutes 40 seconds. Yeah, uh, yeah, pretty good. And then we get to next match, WWE Championship match, Big E versus Drew McIntyre. This match was, I mean, the storyline, I mean, the story was pretty weird. They already sold that Drew McIntyre is going to SmackDown, and then I was already not interested into this match. But anyways, this match was a kind of Drew match, you can say. Drew match. Every Drew match you look at, kind of that style, and they pulled it over pretty nice, I would say. Decent match, I would say. I mean, nothing very special or nothing fantastic or something. It wasn't too long. It was back and forth, kind of felt like a Raw match. I mean, Monday Night Raw main event match, kind of like Drew McIntyre puts on. Kind of felt like that, and the story wasn't very good and convincing. So I didn't like that much. But yeah, for the sake of the WWE Championship to be defended in a pay-per-view, they did it. So yeah, this was the Big E defeated Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre gave him a thumbs up after the match. I wonder. I mean, McIntyre going for Roman Reigns, I guess. After this, what's next for Big E? I don't know. Glad to see new guys. Who knows, maybe, I mean, maybe Bobby Lashley continuing the rivalry, or maybe Kevin Owens, some new guys or something, Keith Lee or something. Let's see how it goes, man. I mean, whatever it is, the story should be interesting. I mean, yeah. Next we get to the co-main event: Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, triple threat for the SmackDown Women's Championship. My prediction was Becky Lynch retaining the championship. At a slight lean on to Sasha Banks, maybe she could pull off the victory. But yeah, I didn't thought that Becky would be losing the title here. Uh, yeah, she has so much support, and the fans were excited here, and the match was really good. Uh, Great match, I would say, and it was what we expect from these three women. They always put on our great match, great chemistry, and back and forth match, which is a lot of fun to watch it. So yeah, I mean, it was. It was great, I would say, and I enjoyed it. But at this point of time, I was kind of, man, this video is so long. I'm kind of have a fatigue element into it, as I said in my beginning of this review. So that was coming into my mind. But again, this match was a well worked match, no botch kind of situation, and they pulled it over very nice, I would say. Yeah, very very good. So yeah, nothing to say much about. Bianca Belair retained the championship. Sorry, Becky Lynch retained the championship, and in a heel tactics, you can say, and perfectly, I would say, she matched that style. I mean, she held the ropes, and I'm pretty okay with that booking. I would say Becky Lynch is working that gimmick, so it's good for her, I would say. Yeah. Next we get to the main event, what we were waiting for after a long ass time. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal Championship, and I was excited, man, when these two were facing off each other. I mean, having the moment, looking into the eyes. That's what pro wrestling is. That's what the moment is, man. I mean, even though we have seen many matches between these guys, but this time the role is reversed. Roman Reigns is heel, big heel, tribal chief. Brock Lesnar is working as a face, smart as face, you can say, but he wasn't that smart to get. Kick out to the championship title shot. Title shot to his head by Roman Reigns. That got ended this match. The match was really entertaining, very good. What we expect from WWE, like WWE style match, uh, barricade breaking, yeah, throwing around, suplexity, yeah, F5s, F5, the ref bump as well. Lesnar picking up the ref was great touch, reminding me of before he did before, yeah, I don't remember when it was. I think it was in 2012 when he did with John Cena, I guess. But yeah, and yeah, Roman Reigns looked vulnerable, very vulnerable, and Roman Reigns having the suicide dive, that was cool. So it was very enjoyable, very entertaining match, and but like I said, the show was so long. That was the that was the only thing. If this would have been like uh, 1 hour before or something like it was, yeah, it would have been good. I mean, it's at this point it's like 3.5, 3:45 hours of wrestling, and there's a whole lot of things that isn't a pay-per-view ish, you can say. So that what I would say didn't enjoy me, I would say. Didn't get me. uh, yeah, but this was excellent, and the story is going to continue here, and that's the way actually they ended here. There, Usos got the super kick at the end, and then Roman Reigns hit with the belt, and Paul Heyman having the title belt onto the ring, and yeah, he's not into both of them sides, so kind of having that cliffhanger again, you can say, whose side is on. So that was cool to look at. So pretty great, I would say. Excellent. Entertaining, very entertaining match, and the crowd was really hot into it. I mean, split crowd, 50-50 kind. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns fan favorites, but yeah, just like we expected, Roman Reigns retained the championship here. So Roman Reigns was biggie. I mean, next is Survivor Series, so we have not seen new challenger. But maybe you could see Drew McIntyre match in any of the SmackDown episode, or for the day one pay per view. If you know that WWE is not going to have the TLC pay per view in December, so day one pay per view is the next pay per view, you can say, with championship could be defended. Uh, title change could happen, because Survivor Series doesn't have title change occurring. So yeah, overall I would say this was the best Saudi shows that WWE have ever done. Even though it was pretty long, I mean, there's some stuff that you can minus out, like RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Riddle, the Queen's Crown King of the Ring tournament matches, the Biggie Drew McIntyre. Okay, I mean, yeah, that was also kind of raw match, you can say. And the Mansoor, that was also, I mean, okay, that was okay. I mean, in Saudi, yeah, they are from that descent, so they did it. I mean, but rest three, the King of the Ring, the Queen's Crown, and the Raw Tag Team Championship match, that could have been minus, man. They could have, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. They could have the Raw Tag Team titles onto the pre-show. Yeah, that could have been good. Like SmackDown Women's SmackDown title, tag team title, onto swapping into the Raw Tag Team Championship match. That would have been great. But yeah, that's just my view. And tell me your thoughts on the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in the comment section below, guys. And did you enjoy this pay-per-view, this long pay-per-view? I mean, did you liked it? Did you watched it, the whole pay-per-view? And what do you see? I mean, next for Roman Reigns, for Biggie, and yeah. So that's it, guys. I hope to see you guys in my next review. Leave a like, share, subscribe, do all that great stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And then be safe, stay energetic, peace.